What is up? Happy Monday. As happy as you can have it. It's a hell of a week last week. I think we all recognize that. Even the weekend, I told my friends, hey, guys, I don't want to see anything. Right? I don't want to see anything. There's enough of it out there. I don't need to see it. Stop. And I told everybody, stop rage baiting yourself. Stop looking up crap that you don't need to look up. Stop feeding the algorithm that will continue to give you stuff that you rage about that is not healthy for you. It is not. I said, go watch movies, go watch sports, take a deep breath, because some people out there are getting super worked up. And not in a way where you're like, okay, I'm going to take the ball and I'm going to run with it. Like we're hearing about, some 25 to 30,000 new, groups coming in saying, hey, guess what? I want to figure out what I can do with Turning Point. No, people there was too many people raging because they see something they didn't like. And I get it, but everybody needs to take a deep breath. Okay, every once in a while, the temperature needs to be brought back down. You can be angry, but use it in a positive way. It's going to go a lot further than a reactionary way. There's a bunch of hateful people. There is a bunch of horrible human beings. And my question is, who raised you? You don't think that's going to come back and bite you in the ass? You don't think at any point in time that you think maybe this wasn't the best thing? Maybe I shouldn't say this? Maybe there's, I don't know. Maybe I should just take a deep breath and not say something? The thing that I was watching Scott Adams, who, I enjoy. He's kind of funny. And he was talking about this, and he's so spot on in this situation.
So there are numerous stories of teachers and people associated with schools of various types who are getting canceled, meaning fired, for saying horrible things about essentially being happy or saying it was justified that Charlie Kirk got assassinated. What do you think about that? That people are losing their jobs all over the place. Well, let me tell you the thing that is most shocking about that. The most shocking thing is that the people who spoke out that way believed they wouldn't get fired. I think they were all surprised, which means they've been living entirely within a bubble in which they thought other people would agree with that.
Yeah. Imagine that. You live in that world where you thought, well, all of my friends feel this way. And all the people I follow on X or Blue Sky or watch on YouTube or whatever or read, they all feel this way. So everybody feels this way. And then you come to find out, oh, wow. No, not everybody does. Not everybody feels this way, nor should they. Whatever decent human being. Whatever happened to somebody going, whatever happened to common sense going, yeah, I don't think this is a good idea.
That left a long time ago, Brother Chad.
Oh, my God. I mean,
a lot of people.
It is, I was fascinated by, as I watched some of these people say some of the most insane things, I thought, you really thought there would be no repercussions, that you were celebrating another human being's death and reveling in it, and you thought there would be no repercussions. How stupid are you? Well, we found out. A lot of people have been suspended, fired, all of the things. Some places it takes a little bit longer because of unions.
Tenured professors.
Oh, yeah. I mean, what do you think? Well, you know what? Your thinking is, I can't be fired. Nobody can do anything to me. I am above reproach in this position, and there's no way you can remove me. Well, lo and behold, they're finding out ways. They're finding out ways. And you are feeding in, thank goodness, that people are starting to see that the insanity on college campuses in particular and in schools. Like, what the hell are people doing? I shouldn't be shocked. You know what? Because I often wonder, I would like to think we had better common sense, but you know what? You go back to when JFK was assassinated. If we had social media, what would people have said? I don't know. MLK, what would people have said? RFK? I have no idea what people would have said in those things. Malcolm X, stuff like that. I have no idea. I would like to think that as horrible as they may think some things, they wouldn't put it out there. But they live in this world where they think they're untouchable and that nothing can happen to them and that they're allowed to say whatever they want, which they are. Nobody denied them the right to say what they said. So when you hear the great pushback of, well, should they have really been fired? Well, that's up to I'm not a big cancel culture fired person, but as a business owner, I would say it's tough for me to have you do business with my people knowing full well this is how you feel about a group of people that I serve on both the right and the left who buy stuff.
Yeah, because you literally could be cutting 50% of your potential revenue.
There's a reason Michael Jordan said, I don't say anything because even Republicans buy shoes.
Yeah.
Because he knew. Stay as apolitical in that situation. And that's what I think after the summer of love that had nothing to do with love and all to do with breaking stuff, lighting stuff in fire and throwing a fit. After that, all these companies started to pull away. Because they don't want to be involved in any of this because they get pushed back on all sides. You know what they want to do? They want to sell their tchotchkes. They want to sell their widget. They want to sell their clothing item, their whatever it is that they have. They're not interested in all the other crap. Because, as Ken said, 50% of the country is going to be pissed off. And that's what you got. It is amazing. It was amazing to watch the stupidity of human beings just continue to open their foot and put it in over and over again. What happens when 5 or 10 years goes by and you realize, oh my God, that was stupid? That ain't going to age well.
No, it's out there forever.
Yeah. I mean, that is not going to age well. And your kids are going to look up and go, hey, Mom, hey, Dad, do you remember that time that you went and you said horrific things about a guy being murdered in front of the world? And you were gleeful about it? Yeah, that's not a good look. That's not. And some people haven't walked it back. And look, if that's the way you feel, knock yourself up. It's a free country. It's the beauty of our country. You're not asking for any more to happen. As long as that's going on, you're fine. But that being said, it ain't age well. It isn't. And it's not going to age well in the future. And there is repercussions. Just because you have free speech doesn't mean you're free from the actions that come with that speech. Hope you guys had a good weekend. Ken, watch some football. I watched football. That was a wonderful thing. That was a good time not thinking about stuff.
Yes, sir.
It was great. And tonight you're going to go see a band.
Yes, sir. I'm going to go see the King of Yacht Rock.
The Doobies.
With Michael McDonald, which I always loved the Doobie Brothers. I loved the Doobie Brothers before Michael McDonald.
It's hard not to.
I like them after
She
Michael
came from
McDonald.
somewhere
Back in her long ago.
Oh, he's spectacular.
Yeah, it's like I've got Tourette's today, man. I just keep busting out in, you don't know me, but I'm your brother. Oh. And it's horrible, but I can't stop.
It's okay. It's okay. It's what God wants. You know what? That is.
I'm afraid some of those other...
God's okay with it, but Michael's going to ban you.
No, he's not. I hope he sounds good.
I've listened to some of their shows before now, and he sounds great.
Because who was I seeing? I watched something the other day. They had somebody on stage, and I thought, oh, well, that's time to go away, you know? The Who actually sounded okay. They just didn't move.
Oh, the Who.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
You know, and Billy Idol sounded pretty good. He just didn't move. I mean, he was Billy, but it was.
Yeah.
You know.
Try moving with the bad hip.
Yeah, you could tell too, because you could tell how he's walking. It was not good. But there are some other ones out there. I thought, ooh.
David Lee Roth is one. There's a clip floating around of him trying to sing "Dance the Night Away," and it's terrible.
Oh,
I'm pretty sure it's real. And I don't want to roast David Lee Roth. I mean, I like David Lee Roth, but man, it was just bad.
Yeah. It's somebody's willing to pay you. You don't want to think that the time is gone. And so you're going to go out there. And David, too, if you guys haven't seen him, he's still in great shape.
Oh, yeah. He's
fit,
kicking everything like,
But he just can't sing. It's not. He can't even sing like California Girls. Like, take away anything from Van Halen.
Right.
It's not there. And it's got to be tough, man, when you're in that position. When you still want to give it up. It's the athlete, right? Like some people stay too long. They stay those 1 or 2 seasons too long.
Yeah.
And others, they leave a little, maybe 1 or 2 seasons early. Sandy Koufax is like, I'm done.
Yeah.
And he was 29. That guy was arguably the greatest pitcher of all time up until that point. And
I think Barry Sanders kind of.
He totally did.
He was still kind of in his prime and said, you know what? I'm going to be in a wheelchair if I keep taking hits like this.
And this team sucks. I don't know if you guys are aware of this. Detroit's awful. We're never going to win. Scott Mitchell's my quarterback. We're crap. We're never going to the playoffs. And, I can't take the ball and outrun everybody on the field on every play.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
What was he? He was getting the ball like 34, 36 times.
Oh, yeah, he was. Yeah. I mean, I understand why he left. I do. I absolutely understand why he left. It was kind of, some people leave too early. Some people stay way too late. And somebody's willing to pay you 20, 30, 50 grand for a night. You're not going to say no. No. And it's the rockers are the ones I see struggling the most, right? Like you're a crooner. You're probably going to be okay.
Yeah.
But for some of these guys, no.
It's kind of like Robert Plant. Robert Plant still sounds good for what his collaborations he has done with Alison Krauss are outstanding.
Yes.
But I wonder if he could still hit some of those old Led Zeppelin high notes, man.
Probably
doubtful.
Probably.
Because, I mean, he had range.
He did, but he probably recognized, like Billy Joel says, look, I can't sing like that. And Elton John, I don't sound like that.
Right.
There's only an area I go to now. I'm not going past that.
Right. I don't blame
like
him.
That isn't going to get there anymore. So if you want to pay.
Sammy Hagar said there's certain Van Halen songs he won't do because he can't do them right.
Yeah. So it's just crazy, man. But, if somebody's willing to pay, what, $100 grand and I don't have to do anything, just show up? Oh, okay.
But I hear Michael McDonald is still rocking it, man.
Right. She came from somewhere back
in long ago.
Fantastic. See, little smiles on her faces, kids. We need that today. Bunch of stuff to get to. Memphis, you're getting a visit. Come on down. You're the next contestant on Trump sending guys over to fix your problem. Talk a little bit. Oh, it's kind of funny. The whole thing about that. We'll talk a little bit about that, a bunch of other stuff, more on Charlie Kirk. The Emmys last night there wasn't a ton of talk about stuff, but it was Nate Bargatze, which was hilarious. Talk a little bit about that, among other things, straight ahead. Chad Benson, Super Talk, and that's it.
Every second you go over 45 seconds, we will deduct $1,000 away from the Boys and Girls Club. I know. That's tough. It's hard. That's tough. It's brutal. What are you going to do, though? I can't change it. This is a game I made up, and these are the rules. So.
Last night, Nate Bargatze hosted the Emmys. I saw some of him. And the opening little skit thing he did was kind of like when he does the George Washington skit on Saturday Night Live, but this was him coming up with the television and what's going to be on it. And it was the same kind of thing, just ridiculous. But it was apolitical and funny. And he was talking there about the Boys and Girls Club. He said, hey, put $100,000 up. But here's the deal. Every time you go over 45 seconds, every second we take $1,000 away from the Boys and Girls Club. But if you come under, we're going to give them $1,000. And then he told everybody not to be crazy about going under because it's his money. But, there was very few, no mentions about Charlie Kirk and very few mentions of politics in general. And I like the fact that he, because you could see that they were like, oh, my God, he's serious, right? He may give money to Boys and Girls Club. And we could be the ones to take it away. I told Belle, I would have just went up there if I'd have won and went, thank you, and then walked away. There'd been an extra $45,000. So It was, I don't know who won. You know what? I do know one person who won. Noah Wiley in the show The Pit, which is one of the few shows I've ever seen that wins anything. Because that show was awesome. That show was awesome. Outside of that, I don't know. If it ain't football, which is another thing there on that skit he did that was hilarious. Because they said, so our streaming shows will be the biggest shows ever. He goes, no, that'll be football. You can't beat football. You just can't.
You can't.
And I liked when the one, I can't remember his name, but the Saturday Night Live alum who says, will there be an Asian television channel?
Yeah.
You asked about streaming.
Because it was just like when you watch if you've never seen him do George Washington on Saturday Night Live, it is hilarious because he will just talk about the most inane things. And there's Keenan there. And he always asks about black entertainment or black anything. And he just ignores everything he says. And it was the same thing. So it was, that's what you get from that. And I was watching football, so I didn't know. Because I love football.
Football.
Watched football all weekend. It was great. Watched soccer yesterday morning, then some football.
I tell you what, dude, that Vols and Georgia game, that was an awesome game.
Yeah, it was.
I feel so sorry for that kicker for the Vols, man.
Did Georgia win?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, as long as Matt's happy.
That kicker for the Vols, he had the leg.
He did.
I mean, he just needed to move a little bit, a couple of yards over, and it would have gone right.
I watched that Cowboys game, and by the way,
yeah.
the Cowboys have a kicker named Brandon Aubrey who played Major League Soccer, and then after a few years, he was let go, and he's like, I don't know if I want to play soccer. Then he had a regular job and said, I want to do this. I could kick. He went to the USFL, set all these records. Never kicked before. Got an opportunity in camp and won it last year with the Cowboys. He kicked a 64-yarder, and the thing hit the net like halfway up.
Yeah. It would have been good from 70 or 75.
Yeah. They asked him where he was comfortable from, and he goes, 71. That's comfortable. And then when he kicked the 46-yarder, you're like, this is easy peasy. Easy peasy.
I remember back in the 70s, everybody thought it was a big deal when a kicker would be barefoot and hit a 40-yarder.
Oh, they would freak out.
Now they're hitting 60 and 60.
You hit a 50-yarder? I don't even know if that exists.
Who was the guy in, I think, the 80s that had half a foot? And he was
that was Tom Dempsey. He had the record for a while. He had it was wood. Like his foot, he had missing his toes, and it was like his shoe was wood.
Really?
He would run and he would kick the ball. You go look at those guys way back in the day, the guys that used to toe punt it. They're hilarious. They'd be like, Jim, he's 9 for 27. He's having a great year.
The kickers are, over there on the bench smoking a cigarette.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Then it was like these soccer-style kickers. They can't, he can kick it far. Yeah. And it's good. So, but that was a nice relaxation this weekend. We're going to have a visit from the President of the United States. Not here, but potentially in Memphis. That was rather interesting, wasn't it? Because he's not going to Chicago. We're going to talk about that.
Yeah, they're just doing ice in Chicago.
Yeah, they're just doing ice, baby. So they're heading there, but we're going to be seeing what's going to happen in Memphis. Some people unhappy about it. Some people, they're dealing with it. I don't know if they're happy with it, but they don't really have a choice. So we're talking a little bit about that, among other things. If you're missing the show, we always say, Shane, when you grab the podcast, you can reach out to us across all of our social media, at Chad Benson Show for me. Check us out on Twitch, X, Rumble, Facebook, and YouTube. Chad Benson Show, Super Talk 997. Don't worry, Ken, I got you.
Armand Duplantis was born and raised in Louisiana, but he competes for Sweden, his mother's home country, where he's a huge star. The young man, whose nickname is Mondo, was in Tokyo at the World Championships, easily winning his 49th straight meet and 5th major title. But he kept the crowd around for another half hour, anxiously watching, hoping to see him go for another world record. And he did it, clearing his top height of 20 feet, 8 inches on his third and final try, the bar wobbling but staying put as he leapt off the mat and began the celebration.
There you go.
Mondo!
So here's my thing.
Some billionaire is going to leave him $1 billion.
No, you know what happens? He breaks it by a centimeter each time because every time he breaks it in his contracts, he gets an extra bonus of X, Y, and Z, depending on what he's.
So he can actually do better.
So you don't want to you don't want to max out.
Right.
You don't do that once.
Right.
So there he goes, Mondo. How about Mondo? Why did he choose Sweden? Come on, Mondo, you're from Lafayette.
He's an ABBA fan.
Probably. I wonder if he's ever been to Sweden. It's like one of those things where it's like never been to Sweden. Like when Italy had a hockey team in the Olympics. It's like over to Smith, over to Jorgensen. You're like, none of these people have ever been to Italy, right?
There was no over to Romano.
Yeah, none of that stuff. It's like, yeah. My grandma, she's Italian, I think. I'm just excited to be here at the Olympics. So congratulations, Mondo. Born and raised in Lafayette, Louisiana. The whole thing with TikTok. I want to go over TikTok again with us. We as a nation, the adults in the room, say to selves, China wants to steal every piece of data we have. Yeah. This is dangerous. We need to get rid of this. And then everybody, right and left, is like, this is right. They're coming. It's dangerous. We got to get rid of it. Trump's like, yes. And then everybody starts making the move, and Trump and everybody, even before that, you had Biden, everybody was on this, right? Left, right, center, it didn't matter. Then they found out that the young were not happy, and the young were super upset. And then they're like, we can't have this. Like, they're coming after me. They don't call me if rates go up on healthcare. They don't call me if there's crime rampant in my city. They call me when TikTok may go away. It was flooding many of these House members and Senate. It was flooding their phones. They could do nothing about it, right? And think about this. This is coming from kids who are afraid to use the phone. That's how much this meant to them. And then Trump's like, somebody's got to buy it. It's an American. And then lo and behold, here we are. I don't know who's going to buy it. They're keeping it quiet. But apparently a deal may be done. Who could it be? Who could it be? So the next contestant on Trump's Coming Into Your Neighborhood is going to be the folks of Memphis. They're going to have a visit from, well, I'm not quite sure what it's going to look like. Neither does the Mayor Young. He's not really sure either.
I do not support the National Guard. However, they are coming. It's not the mayor's call. The mayor doesn't have a say or the authority to stop them from coming. And so my goal is to make sure that as they come, that I have an opportunity to work with them to strategize on how they engage in this community.
And you have no idea how that's going to happen. The governor is excited for this. There is a lot of issues when it comes to, first of all, crime reporting data it's a mess in the way that it's reported. Because in some of the reports, so if you go and commit 3 crimes in one, so you could go and you could murder somebody, but before you did that, you robbed them. And that was why you were there. Then they were there, and you're like, then you try to clean up the place by going, well, I'm going to clean up the crime scene by burning it down. So you've done 3 things: robbery, arson, and murder. Murder's the one that sits up top. So they don't count the other 2 as crime because all they're focusing on is the murder. When it comes to statistics, you're like, oh, that's weird. So they've got this new way they do statistics that pretty much everybody does, except for a lot of places that haven't caught up to it yet. It's like, this is out there. This is what we're all doing, but things are antiquated. The other thing is the way that they label stuff. And we've talked about the reclassification of crime. And reclassification is if it is you go in and you assault somebody and you beat them and then you take a pack of gum, they count that as theft, not assault. It's theft. They can write that as theft. And you're like, oh. So this is one of those things where, look, Memphis has got issues. If you don't believe me, this lady, she's not happy about Memphis and what's going on there.
And, you know, it's just so dangerous that you can't get out of your car, you can't go to the grocery store, you can't go to the market or the service station. So, yeah, I want to see the crime stop. And if the National Guard is going to stop the crime, bring them out.
I don't know what the National Guard's going to do. That's the big thing. Nobody really knows what they're going to do. They're going to show up. That's what we know. How they're going to show up. Are they wearing uniforms? They're not wearing uniforms. Are they going to participate? Are they going to be crime fighters? Probably not. Are they going to drive people from point A to point B? Maybe help out with the paperwork, things of that nature. It's a possibility.
When will they come? How many people are going to come? How long will they be here? What are they going to wear? Where are they going to be geographically in the city? What assignments will they have? Those are all questions that we have and that we are going to work through together as a community.
When are they coming? Don't know. Where are they coming? When? Whenever? He has no say. Again, that's the mayor there. He's got no say in any of this. And, you know, I think a lot of people thought Chicago was going to be it, but it was hard to turn down the numbers. Even though they say violent numbers are coming down in Memphis, it's hard to turn down when you look at those numbers. Those numbers are huge. Same thing goes with St. Louis. Certain parts of St. Louis are absolutely just terrifying. And when you hear I know it's crazy to think that Trump would be a little hyperbolic. It's more dangerous than Iraq. It's not. It's not. It's not more, but there's certain places you just don't want to be. And I don't know what he's going to do. I don't know if he's going to surge TBI, if they're going to send extra people there, if they're going to get the ATF, if they're going to get some. I don't know what they're going to do, or if it is just going to be the National Guard. But it's coming. It is definitely coming. And, you know, the same thing goes for ICE. You know, that's the battle in Chicago right now where you've got a bunch of people out there. It's like, oh, this is the worst. You know, here's the thing. If you worry about the lady down the street who sells tamales, by the way, if you've never had a Christmas tamale, it's the greatest thing. It's amazing. But she's done nothing. And you worry about that person, and you're in these cities, and your goal is to once again swing and miss at every opportunity to have common sense by making sure that your focus is protecting the bad guys. You're going to fail over and over again. And that's what I see happening. They're going to do this over and over again. They're going to fail over and over again because, as we've talked about on the show on numerous occasions, which is you make the worst choice always. What's behind number 3? Oh, it's billions of dollars for social programs. What's behind number 2? It's free cars and houses to all the homeless. What's behind number 1? It's the worst decision. We'll take number 1. I would like that one, sir. And lo and behold, they have it. Look at C-Pell laughing at that one. It's true, though, right? Like the worst decision ever.
Yeah, if government can screw it up, it will.
Yeah. And the Democrats, you are so, they're like, why isn't populism on the left growing? It's simple. Because you're the culture war. You're fighting a culture war. You're not fighting the populism of building up the middle class. People want to romanticize what the Democrats were. They fought for the middle class. They fought for unions, right? They fought for the little guy against the big guy, and they didn't want to tax the big guy out of everything, but they wanted to make sure they paid their fair share, and that we were going to build from the middle class up and blah. That's gone. It's intelligentsia. It's academia. It's this wacky world of everybody's got 95 genders. And you have to, yes, of course she has a penis. That's as all women do. Like that's or else. And they take the dumbest pathway over and over again. That's why it doesn't catch on. Because while you may look and say, okay, I could see some of that with the middle class. I could see some of that with how expensive life is. I could see some of that and how we can look at some of this stuff and the crony capitalism. Yeah. The minute it gets to anything cultural related, they bomb. Gone. And that's why they'll continue to fail over and over again. because they pick the wrong side of reality every single time. And that includes ICE, that includes trying to clean up but when it comes to cleaning up, quote unquote, the neighborhoods, I continue to go back to, you have to understand that these things that you vote on, these people that you put in power over and over again, they're the ones you need to take it up with. You're scared because you don't want to get out of your car, go grocery shopping? How is that people in Nashville's fault? Why should we help the government come and surge what's going on there? That's going to cost a lot of money. That's going to be more show than anything else. That doesn't fix the problem. And the problem starts with the fact that you've got a city council and a bunch of whack DAs who are going to do what? Nothing, probably. And that's the frustration. You continue to go around. It's the death loop. Woo, woo, woo. And you're going to keep getting what you get. That is insanity right there. And Republicans, I look at you, and whether you campaign or even in that district at all, no matter what those districts are, whether Chicago, Memphis, any of these places, you need to go down there and make your voice be heard about this is not how you're supposed to live. This is not what is supposed to happen. This is not. And you got to let it be heard loud and clear that there are better ways than allowing criminals to run wild, because even when you take them off the streets and you put them in jail, they get out within an hour and they're never prosecuted. Doesn't matter how many people you catch if you release everybody and you don't follow through. And why is that? Because you continue to vote for the same people with the same programs that don't work and usually enrich themselves. It's just nuts. Nuts, I say. Nuts. Nuts. A lot of stuff we're going to try to squeeze in today. With some more on Charlie Kirk next hour. I know it is Sunday at, is it State? It's not State Farm. Is it State Farm or is it University of Phoenix Stadium now?
I think it's State Farm.
State Farm.
Is it State Farm? Because I know it was University of Phoenix for a while. It's a home of the Cardinals. So that's going to be Sunday. Okay. So that'll be, I wonder how many people, I know it holds 70, but then you got to start thinking about people on the ground rather than just the crowd. I bet it's packed out. And then the security of that too. Some of the people are talking about, you know, if you're Secret Service, and there's going to be a lot of people there, a lot of high, you know, not only celebrities, people have, you know, known, but also people high up in the government, including the president across the board. How do you protect a lot of that when you never know what loonies lurking out there? Talk a little bit about that, among other things. If you missed any of the show, make sure you grab our podcast. It is Chad Benson Show, Super Talk 997. And the question remains, why? I don't know. Probably 1,000 reasons. He's not talking. I do know that. Doesn't seem to be saying a word.
Yeah, they say he's uncooperative.
Yeah, and then he's on suicide watch. I don't know if we'll ever find out why. Not anytime soon, I don't think. You know, it's again the reasons why somebody would think about this. They've probably never met ever, and they didn't know each other on a Wednesday morning, and by Wednesday evening they'll be entwangled in each other's life for the rest of eternity. He is always going to be remembered as the heinous individual that killed Charlie Kirk. And because of, you know, Charlie Kirk's death, because of this guy, they're going to be there. And the why, something we just don't know why. And we're a curious creature. We want to know why. We want to know. Although I will say this, we know more about this guy than we do the guy that tried to kill Trump the first time.
Yeah.
We know the other guy, that Routh, whatever the hell his name is.
Yeah, Ruth.
That guy. Is he still trying to be his own attorney?
Still his own attorney.
Yeah, that's a great way to get a mistrial.
What's the old saying? He who has himself as a client he who represents himself as a fool for a client.
That's right. Exactly. He's going to look around and go, do you see the man that you say pointed the gun? Yeah, you. Note, they said me. I mean, that's,
yeah,
I don't know. The last time I remember any big case like that was, oh, God, I forgot his name. I think his last name was Ferguson. He was the guy in the 90s that killed all of those people on the train in New York.
Oh, yeah, and they were just pointing him out.
Every time. They said, can you point out to the person that you said shot everybody in the train? They're like, it was you. Note that they said it was me. I mean, that was, yeah. That guy was, he killed a ton, too. God, that was horrific. So,
and he did not care.
He didn't. He did. Talk about somebody who did not care. That guy.
And he loved it.
Yeah.
He loved being in the spotlight like that.
Yeah. Some people do. Some people do. Just a crazy situation. And again, I don't know why. I mean, I think we could probably kick around in our minds why this guy did what he did. But, you know, it's until he says it, we're always going to have, well, maybe not. Maybe it was this or maybe it was that. More on Charlie Kirk and his assassination. Talk a little bit about that, among other things. Hour number 2 of the program straight ahead. Chad Benson, Super Talk 99.7.